All right, thanks, guys. We're currently 2-0 in our last two Better Friends tier package plays on patreon.com/rockpage. We're also 4-2 straight up in our last six Better Friends tier package plays on that website as well. We'll get into a little bit more of that in just a moment. But before we go ahead and do that, let's go ahead and start in the Liga Pro Table Tennis League in Russia. All lines and odds taken from the Fox Bet Sportsbook app. And we're going to go ahead and start with Ivan Pander taking on Andre Babkin in a 4:30 p.m. Eastern showdown. Babkin's the $1.90 favorite. Pander's plus $1.40. Pander's really struggled as of late, losing his last 6 straight matches. He's also just 1-7 straight up in his last 8 as well. Pander's been shut out in his last 3 matches and lost 3-1 in his last head-to-head contest with Babkin. And speaking of Andre, he's currently on a 2-match winning streak, 4-3 straight up in his last 7. He also shut out his opponent in 2 out of his last 4 victories, and has marquee wins over the likes of Kuzmin, Menchikov, and Pander during that stretch. Looks like a pretty good spot for Babkin here. Give me Andre Babkin winning that one outright for some pricey money line cash. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leads out for Sunday's Liga Pro action. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Easter to you. Hopefully you're having a good Easter Sunday and a good weekend for that matter. But anyway, before we go ahead and move on with the program, I just want to quickly remind you once again to check me out on my website at patreon.com/rockpage, where once again we are currently 2-0 in our last 2 Better Friends tier package plays. We've also been victorious in 4 out of our last 6 Better Friends tier package plays on that website as well. The Better Friends tier is a package that I offer on that site. We also do daily premium sports picks on that website beginning at just $1.99 through the end of the month. We have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. Currently, we have well over 650 members currently signed up and active on that page. Now, you might be wondering, why would all those folks pay for picks and sign up on Patreon to receive my picks there, where they can get them here for free on YouTube? And that's certainly a great thought, a great consideration. But there is a big problem with me handicapping every single game on the board, side and total. And the problem is this: if you were to bet every single game on the board that I put out here on YouTube, side and total, you're darn near guaranteeing yourself failure. If you're going to bet every single game that's on the slate with your hard-earned money, side and total, it's certainly not a winning formula for success. As a matter of fact, it is an absolute recipe for disaster. The books are way too smart for that. They're way too sharp. They have a whole lot of money than you and I do combined to be able to, absorb that kind of action. And most important, the math becomes aggressively against you the more and more games you play like that, especially if you're betting an entire slate of games. So what I do on Patreon is I make life a lot easier for you. I break it down and focus in on just 3 to 4 premium selections per day. They're high percentage picks, games that I personally have action on. And I'll tell you this much, my current Patreon record is a whole lot better than it is here on YouTube, handicapping every single game on the board, side and total. And the good news is this: if you want to go ahead and check out my current Patreon record, you actually have access to that right now. You can go ahead and do that for free right now. It is located right on the Patreon homepage. All you have to do is click the link in the description section below. I'll also include a link in the comments section below as well. And once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. And of course, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into the free content. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Hike Lulikian taking on Yevgeny Krichkov, 5 p.m. Eastern start. Krichkov's won his last 2 straight, while also going 6-1 straight up in his last 7. Yevgeny shut out his opponent 3 times during that stretch, and has marquee wins over the likes of Trushkin, Arudinen, and Nikiforov during that span of matches. Lulikian, on the other side, a little bit of a different story, as he's right in the middle of a 3-game skid. He's also dropped 5 out of his last 6, and was shut out in 3 of those losses. So I got to fade Hike in this spot here. Give me Yevgeny Krichkov winning that one outright for some moneyline cash. Next contest, Andrei Sadkov taking on Ivan Pander, 5 o'clock Eastern start time. Pander's lost his last 6 straight and is just 1-7 straight up in his last 8. Pander's also been shut out in his last 3 straight matches. Sadkov on the other side is currently in the middle of a 4-match winning streak with victories over the likes of Kuzmin, Shirzov, and Pander during that stretch. Sadkov actually shut out Pander 3-0 in their last head-to-head meeting. I got to give the advantage to Andre in this spot here. Give me Andre Sadkov winning that one outright in a blowout. Next matchup, it is going to be Andre Babkin taking on Vas Shirzov, 5:30 Eastern showdown. Shirzov is the $1.65 favorite. Babkin's plus 120 on the money line. Babkin's won his last 2 straight and is 4-3 straight up in his last 7. Shutout victories in 2 out of his last 3 wins. Shirzov on the other side has dropped 2 out of his last 4 and is laying a pretty bad price point here. His last few losses came at the hands of Kuzmin and Sadkov. Vas is the clear-cut favorite, but this is a bad price, laying 65-cent juice. The value's in Babkin, so give me Andre Babkin getting the job done for some plus money cash. All right, next contest, it is going to be Oleg Nikiforov taking on Anatoly Trushkin in a 5:30 p.m. Eastern showdown. Trushkin is the $2.50 favorite. Oleg's plus $1.75. Oleg's won his last 2 straight and 3 out of his last 4. He's garnered himself marquee wins over Lulikian, Arudinin, and Trushkin during that stretch. And speaking of Trushkin, he's been trashkin as of late. You see what I did there? Dropped 3 out of his last 5 and posting a record of just 3-5 straight up in his last 8. I got to fade Trushkin, laying 250 here. Give me the underdog, Oleg Nikiforov, plus 150, getting the job done for some plus money cash. Next contest, Vlad Shirokov taking on Ivan Pander. 6 o'clock start time. Pander's lost his last 6 straight, as we discussed earlier. He was also shut out in his last 3 matches as well. Vlad on the other side is currently in the middle of a 3-match win streak with victories over Vladimirovich, Frolov, and Krokin during that stretch. I got to give the slight edge to Shirokov, although I think this will be a very competitive matchup. Give me Vlad Shirokov winning this one outright in a close one. All right, next battle, it is going to be Ivan Pander right back on the table, this time squaring off against Vas Shirzov in a 6 o'clock showdown. Shirzov has won 2 out of his last 3, while also posting a record of 4-2 straight up in his last 6. He's beaten Kuzmin, Babkin, and Pander in his last handful of games. He's also been dominating Pander as of late, going 3-0 in their last 3 head-to-head meetings, including 2 shutout victories over Pander. Now Pander on the other side, 6 straight losses, 3 straight shutout losses, 1-7 straight up in his last 8. This is a no-fly zone for Pander backers. I'm going to lean Vas Shirzov winning this one outright in a blowout. All right, next matchup. It is going to be Anatoly Trushkin taking on Hike Lulikian, 6 o'clock start time. Trushkin's the $1.75 favorite. Hike's plus $1.25. Now, Hike's lost his last 3 straight and dropped 5 out of his last 6. Hike was also shut out in 3 out of his last 4 defeats as well. Trushkin, on the other side, 2-0 in his last 2 meetings with Lulikian, including a shutout victory. Trushkin was also able to manage victories in 2 out of his last 3 matches, including wins against Arudinin and Lulikian during that stretch. I'm going to go ahead and give the edge to Trushkin in this spot here. Give me Anatoly Trushkin getting the job done. All right, next contest I have for you, it is going to be Yevgeny Krichkov taking on Oleg Nikiforov, 6:30 p.m. start. Oleg is the $2.25 dog in this one, catching plus money. Krichkov laying $3. Krichkov is playing really, really well right now. I was going to say very well, but it didn't sound right. But anyway, Krichkov is playing very good right now. 6-1 straight up in his last 7. 2 shutouts during that span. He also dominated Oleg in their last head-to-head matchup, 3-0. And speaking of Oleg, he's won just 3 out of his last 8, including losses to Lulikian, Trushkin, and Arudinin during those matches. I gotta fade Oleg despite the juicy price point. Give me Yevgeny Krichkov winning that one straight up for some pricey money line cash. Let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BragPage. Got to give a shout-out to Chris Shelton, Get a King, The Mac, Ryan Mast, Zymer Trax, Black Rogue, James Medina, Jason Robinson, Jay Stacks, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout-out to Jason Hill. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Easter to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BragPage.